Don't dismiss this outright as the work of some kind of raving lunatic. There's some sense to this story if you'll just hear me out. We all wonder if time travel's possible, right? Well, let me tell you something. It is. I'm sending you this message from the future. I know you probably don't believe it, but seriously, it's true. It's a really great thing for me, getting to see the past and watching events unfold, seeing how my ancestors lived, stuff like that. Behind all the fun though, there's a more serious aspect. Something which shows off the darker side of humanity. The thing is, we're never supposed to contact ourselves. Never supposed to contact our past selves. Let me tell you, I'm breaking that rule right now. Yeah, you're talking to yourself. Your future self. Look, I'm gonna be executed for this, but you know what? I accept that. I'm preventing something by talking to you that is worse than death. I can't tell you outright what to do, because the Watchers would catch it. This is the closest I can get, look, trust me. Back a few decades ago, things weren't too bad in the world. Fuel prices were a little high, along with the unemployment rates. People were becoming ever more aware of their civil liberties. People began to stand up for themselves against established authority, against their governments. It started off small at first, a few tiny countries that no one rarely ever heard of. But then it began to spread like wildfire. The Middle East, Russia, China, Europe, America. Mass uprisings and violent protests were a daily occurrence. The groans of society spurned people into action, bringing them into the streets. They were tired of being dictated to, of being told how to behave, how to live, how to think. Governments toppled. Law and order crumbled. Society deteriorated into a swirling mass of primeval base instincts. Of the few of us left that are able to pass these stories on and refuse to succumb to the animalistic ways, it was terrifying. But one of the pivotal events in in our country, was something that happened not too far away from where you live. A couple of streets over, in fact. It was a local family. The Jacksons. They were just a typical family. Andrew and Karen. They were married for 18 years, coming up on 19. Andrew was a doctor in the local practice and Karen was a teacher. She loved the little ones, how enthusiastic they were every day that they ran into her classroom. They had a son, Max. He was 16. He was smart, really smart, and he was well liked. He loved to play sports. Heck, he even helped out at the local community centre. And then there was little Katie. She was 6 years old, with the biggest brown eyes you've ever seen. She was just a cute, innocent, adorable little tyke. She loved everyone. When her dad came in the door from a long hard day at work, she would run as fast as her little legs would carry her and cling on to him. He chuckled and kissed her on the nose like he always did, whilst the family dog Sam jumped around barking excitedly. His little beagle face seemed to smile, knowing that all the people that he loved were together again. Looking back and seeing just such a loving family like that, it's quite humbling. But as with everything, things never stay perfect. The innocent things always manage to get corrupted. As society began to break down, people thought they could do what they wanted, that they were bigger than the law. And on this night, someone decided to rob the Jacksons of their happiness, and it happened while they were asleep. The man who did it was part of a gang, targeting innocent families, managed to get in through an open bathroom window. News reports from what I can find show that Andrew and Karen were found with their throats slit. They were lying, cradling each other in their arms, their blood pooling around them like some kind of morbid red halo. Their eyes were open, staring at each other, not wanting to miss the last few moments with each other as they felt the life ebbing out of them. Max, their son, was found with garrote marks across his neck. He was strangled with a thick electrical wire. The marks were deep, the wire harsh enough to bite into his flesh as the light disappeared from his eyes. The reports say that they found claw marks on the wooden headboard. He struggled. He tried to fight back, but to no avail. He even killed Sam. His little body was found lifeless and limp. They kicked a dog to death. I never understood how they could be so cruel. He suffered 4 broken ribs, massive internal injuries, and punctured lungs. He suffocated. And little Katie, reports say that she awoke as the hooded figure entered her room. She was paralysed by fear, and 2 solitary tears slid down her face with her tiny body trembling. The hooded figure stared over her, faceless, intimidating, like it was drawing the life out of her. The figure moved and a blade glistened, but the silence was deafening as it got closer to her, imposing, unyielding. The blade got closer to her face, and then a flash. The figure cut a lock of her hair, and as quick as he appeared, he was gone. Those still trying to hold some semblance of society together eventually arrived at the house. Police, ambulances, fire engines. The house was ablaze. They found little Katie standing out the front, holding her ragged, worn teddy bear, gripping tightly onto Sam's lead, with soulless, dead-eyed stare, unwavering, looking straight ahead. I was never able to find out what happened to her after that and all the chaos that was going on. But there is one thing I do know, that those people are out there, and this is happening right now. And that's why I forced myself to send you this message. And that message is, don't look behind you.